We are recording in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have liftoff. Welcome, everyone. My name is Abel Prieto, coming to you live from Miami, Florida, with our weekly English partner training. We do these every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Miami time, 9 p.m. Spain, Norway time. It's one of my favorite times of the day. Thank you for joining us today. We're about to give you some tools, some tips, some knowledge, some expertise, some experience to help you in your in-cruises business, to help you become more successful, and to help you make money, build big organizations, and help a lot of people travel the world and have a lot of fun and make a lot of money and enjoy life more. So thank you for joining us today. And today I want to talk to you about first some quick announcements to let you know that we've got a lot of great things happening at In-Cruises. These are exciting times at In-Cruises. These are exciting times, and I want to make sure that they're exciting for you and your family and your team. I want to start with this quote. I just saw this on social media not too long ago, and it really impacted me. And the quote is this, the quote of the day. I'm going to give you the quote of the day is, you don't need more time, you need a deadline. I want to repeat that for you. You don't need more time, you need a deadline. And we're going to get back to that quote in a few minutes, but I want you to write that down. I want you to think about it a bit. And today we're going to talk to you about taking action. Action, the power of action, the magic of taking action. And we're going to talk to you about that. Before I do that, I just want to let you know that this Sunday, I've already shared the link to this special webinar that we're doing with Life Mastery Trainings this Sunday at 1 p.m. Miami time. So that would be about 7 p.m. Norway, Spain time. A lot of the people are from Greece and that part of the world. It's 8 p.m. Greek time. So when you see there, July 21st, that's this Sunday, 8 p.m., that's Greek time, which means that would be 7 p.m. if you're in Norway, Sweden. That would mean 1 p.m. right in the middle of my Sunday. I love it. I love it. We're going to be having this virtual event with my great friend, one of my mentors and coaches, Mark Aceta, and several other leaders from the direct sales and network marketing industry. I'm privileged to have been invited to be at this event. And we're going to give you some great tips for you to grow your business. So this Sunday, if you're available, feel free to join us. Obviously, it's going to be in English, so make it. And I have shared the link in the chat. I'm going to share it again just to make sure that you guys have this link. This is your link to make it inside the webinar. We're going to be talking about the event that we're going to be holding with Life Mastery, the Unstoppable event coming up in the month of November in Bulgaria. But man, we've got a lot of great stuff, and I'd love for you guys to make it this Sunday. It's going to be awesome. Anytime I get a chance to be in front of the presence, or whether it be virtual or live presence of Mark Aceta, who is a former 7-figure income earner in direct sales. He's a coach. He's a public speaker, a trainer in the sales and direct sales and network marketing industry. Whenever I get a chance to be in front of him, trust me, I take that chance. I encourage you to do the same. Remember, we've got an event coming up in Barcelona. All right, so for those of you who have been asking me about English translations for that event, they're working on that. There's going to be Russian translation, Spanish, English. Michael Hutchinson is going to be at that event, so make sure you get your tickets now. The links are out there. If you guys need some help with that, reach out to me. I'll get you that link. But we have this event coming up on Sunday virtually. We got Barcelona in October. It is the first month of the new Global Leadership Summit contest, which is a 6-month contest where you can win a trip to an undisclosed location. A lot of us who have won the current or the one that just passed, the Global Leadership Summit, which is a competition that we do every 6 months at In-Cruises. We're going to be at the beginning of, right after the event in Barcelona, we're going to be in Montenegro, a country I've never visited. I look forward to being there with the corporate team and a lot of the leaders from In-Cruises. But this month begins the first month of the new contest, so take advantage. We're going to talk today again about the power of taking action. Take advantage of the fact that you've got a brand new shot, a brand new chance to win this new contest. Also remember that this month, we've got the, let me go ahead and close this out so you guys are aware of this. We've got the brand new incentive that the company just put out. All right. Can you guys see me okay? Can you guys see me? Man, I need to shave. Woo! Whoa! I need a good old-fashioned shaving, man. This month we've got the incentive that the company put out where you can qualify based on doing a certain amount of basic numbers, personal production, for a $200 in-stay reservation or a $400 in-stay reservation. So make sure that you're on top of all of your in-cruises news. And again, I want to keep this very simple. I don't want to take up too much of your time. We used to do these webinars for 45 minutes to an hour, sometimes a little bit more than an hour, but I want to keep this short and simple. I want to keep it focused because our business is not a complicated industry. It's not a complicated business. It's a very simple business. If you focus on a few key things, they say that amateurs do something until they get it right, while professionals do something until they can't get it wrong. And the great thing about our business is that you don't have to focus on doing a lot of things. You just have to focus on doing a few things right for an extended amount of time. And again, the quote that I started today's webinar with is all right, am I having trouble with the connection here? Can you guys, are we good to go? Let me know. Let me know if you can see me. Let me know if you can hear me. I see that we're recording. I just had a little glitch there. So if someone could just let me know in the chat and let me know that we're good to go. But, I saw this quote just a couple of days ago, and it's a very important quote that I want you to realize, I want you to focus on, and I want you to write down. It says, you don't need more time. You need a deadline. And a lot of times, we talk to people and they tell us, oh, if I only had more time, or I don't have enough time, oh my God, time flies, or there aren't enough hours in the day. There are enough hours in the day, but it's important for you in your in-cruises business. When you work in your business, you got to work with deadlines. You see, corporations, they work with monthly goals. They work with Q1 goals, Q2 goals, Q3 goals, Q4 goals, annual goals. They look at year-to-date goals, which is where you are up to that point in the year. They look at the prior 12 months. Successful companies and teams and corporations and organizations, they work with deadlines. And I want you to do the same. One of the things that have really propelled my business forward, which is maybe something you need to work on. If you don't, then God bless you. Keep doing what you're doing. Is you got to set deadlines. That goes hand in hand with setting goals. You got to set goals, but you got to put deadlines to those goals. I talk to people all the time and they tell me, Abel, my goal is to do this. And then I ask them, okay, so what's your deadline? When do you want to accomplish that goal by? Well, I don't know. I'm just going to work hard. That ain't good enough. My job today is to tell you what is good enough, what you need to focus on, what you need to do to take your life, your business to the next level. And one of the things that you got to get really good at is setting deadlines to your goal. In the business that I grew up with Frank Codina a few years ago here in our network marketing financial services company here in America, in the US, I was stuck at a rank that was right below the top rank of the company, what they call regional vice president. And I was at that rank for 4 years. It would be the equivalent of, say, a national director at in-cruises, or maybe like a regional director. I was kind of like a regional director. Actually, the title of the rank was a regional leader. So it's kind of like a regional director, but I was looking to rank up to that next top rank at the company. And I had been at the company for 4 years working with Frank and his leadership. And, during that time, I always had a goal. I said, I want to become a regional vice president. That's my goal. That's kind of like your ultimate goal in that company. And I was 4 years in. And at that point, I really made a decision to go for it like I had never gone for before, to make certain changes in my life, maybe some of the changes that you have to make in your in-cruises business. And 4 months later, I was a regional vice president with in-cruises, with that company. So a regional vice president with that company is kind of like the equivalent of an international director or an executive director. It's a six-figure income. It could be a very high six-figure income, even a seven-figure income. And people would ask me, when I hit regional vice president, they would say, "Wow, Abel, it took you 4 years and 4 months to become a regional vice president." Now, I wasn't very proud of that because I like to be a big achiever. I didn't like the fact that it took me 4 years and 4 months, but I accomplished something that most people never do in that company. I mean, a very small percentage, just like in our company, a small percentage of people that actually get started make it to the higher ranks, not because it's a bad product, not because we have a bad opportunity, but because they simply don't do what they have to do, right? They're not disciplined enough. And I want to tell you some of the things that the ones that do achieve those ranks, what they do, and it's all about action. It's about taking action. Write that down. Action is everything. Action is everything. Action is everything. I must become a person of action. I must act now. And you must work with deadlines. So people would come to me and they say, Abel, it took you 4 years and 4 months to become a regional vice president. I said, no, man, it took me 4 months. 4 months from the moment that I really decided to become a regional vice president. 4 months later, although I had been in the business for 4 years and 4 months, 4 months after I really made a decision to become a regional vice president, I became a regional vice president. 4 months from the moment I set a deadline, I remember like it was yesterday. I said, I'm going to be a regional vice president in 4 months. I put together a plan in place. I looked at the team that I had. I saw the production that I had coming in. I saw the production that I was needing. I saw the people that I had to get promoted. I saw the people that I had to get licensed. In that business, you had to get a license with the government. I saw the people that I had to put in place, the production they needed to do. And then I said, in 4 months, I'm going to be a regional vice president. And 4 months later, I was a regional vice president. So although many people came to me and said, oh, it took you 4 years and 4 months, I would say to them, no, it took me 4 months, 4 months to become the highest paying rank at that company. 4 months from the moment I made a true 100% commitment to my decision and I set a deadline. So I want to encourage you to not be the person that says, I need more time. What you need is a deadline. I like it, right? It kind of rhymes. I don't need more time. You don't need more time. You need a deadline. You need a specific goal and you need to put a deadline to that goal. And I want you to understand that no matter where you are today, I don't care if you're brand new to the company or you're, membership free, or maybe not even there and you're fighting for that, or you're a brand new marketing director, or maybe you're a senior or regional director. I want you to know that in 4 months, in 120 days, your life could be 120% different. Just like my life was 4 months after I made a decision and I committed to that decision and I set a deadline to my goal. So let me ask you something. What is your next goal? And more importantly, what is your deadline for that goal? I want you to set that deadline down and then make a commitment to that decision of accomplishing that, no matter come hell or high water, no matter what happens, you have it. You have to do it. So what's one of the keys to making that happen? Well, it's called action. Action is everything. In Og Mandino's book, The Greatest Salesman in the World, I suggest everyone read that book. It's in my top 5 books that have changed my life all time. Number 1 is As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. Number 2 is Og Mandino, The Greatest Salesman in the World. Number 3 is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Number 4 is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Number 5 is Pushing Up People by Art Williams, the former CEO of that company that I came from. And in that book, he talks about 10 scrolls or 10 tips, and one of them is action. And in that book, he says, listen, none of the other stuff I'm talking to you about in this book matters if you don't take action. Action is everything. You see, the reason you and I are here today is because our parents took action. You get what I'm saying? Your parents took action a few years ago. My parents did it about 47, 48 years ago. They decided to not just think about doing something maybe the way you and I do, but they decided to turn their thoughts into action. And then they put some passion into it, which is required, right? And they got into action. And here you are, a miracle of life, right? A miracle of God. The chances of you and I being here are 1 in a trillion, but it took action. Action is everything. Your parents took action. That's why you and I are here, my parents, and that's why you have to do it. Remember this, thinking about doing something is harder than actually doing it. And one of the keys to taking action is to have a goal, move yourself into action towards that goal, and have a deadline. And to be able to have a goal, to be able to achieve a goal, you have to work a schedule. Let me talk to you about a person of action. What does a person of action, an action person, do? What are their traits? What do they do? What do they do? It's not about what do they think about. What do they do? We are not, even though, Napoleon Hill in his book, which again, top 5, Think and Grow Rich, he talks about the power of thought, the power of positive thinking, and the power of thinking optimistically. And that's so important. But in that same book, he says, but at the end of the day, you have to take action. So what does a person of action do? A person of action, number one, in the world that we live in of technology and social media, and a person of action uses social media and technology to build his or her business. He or she is not used by social media. So a lot of times I'll talk to someone on my team like, hey, did you take action towards your goals today? Say, yeah, I was on social media. I was, looking around, I was posting and I was doing this. And I'm like, yeah, but were you contacting people? Were you using social media and technology and those tools to get your butt in front of a brand new person listening to an In-Cruises presentation? Well, no, what happened? Look back at the last 2 hours that you were on. And a lot of times when I do a little bit of deep digging, I find out that they were just, just strolling, just rolling around. What do you call it? Scrolling, not rolling, not strolling, but scrolling, endless scrolling on social media. See, a person of action takes action by using social media to build their business, not by being used by social media. So let me ask you a question. Are you being used by social media to market their products, their services, and their ideas? Or are you using social media to get your butt in front of more people that are out there looking for an opportunity? Remember, the greatest people at In-Cruises haven't even joined In-Cruises yet. The greatest people at In-Cruises haven't even seen a presentation. Why don't you give it to them? You see, because if you don't, either one or two things is going to happen. Either no one else will, and they'll miss out on a great opportunity to change their life, even though right now they're there praying to God that for an opportunity because they want to make more money, they want to change their life, they want to live a better lifestyle, give their family more, travel more, have more freedom, more time, more money. Or number two, someone else on someone else's team is going to give them a presentation. So a person of action does what? A person of action, number one, they realize that they don't need more time. They need a deadline. They need to set goals with deadlines. They understand, number two, that thinking about something is harder, way harder than actually doing that something. Number three, they work a schedule. Number four, they're not used by social media. They use social media to grow their business. What else does a person of action do? And I want you to ask yourself, am I a person of action? And then if you realize that you've got to make certain adjustments in your life and the way you manage yourself, your life, your business, your schedule, then just realize that you have the power to do that. A person of action is disciplined. A person of action is disciplined. Now, you're looking at someone that really, I'm ashamed to say it, but I want to say it. I'm not naturally a disciplined person. It doesn't come naturally to me. But I realized that if I wanted to achieve those goals and achieve those deadlines, I had to be more disciplined. Let me ask you something. I'm talking to you. No, I'm not talking to her. I'm not talking to him. I'm talking to you right there. You. Are you looking at me? Because I'm talking to you. Are you listening to me? Let me know if you're looking at me, if you're listening to me. Let me know if you understand that I'm talking to you. A person of action is disciplined, meaning you do what has to be done when it has to be done. A person of action does what they need to do when they need to do it. A person of action is disciplined, understanding that discipline is nothing more than giving up something you like for something you love. A person of discipline, a person of action is someone that understands that discipline is not a jail, a jail cell or a prison. Discipline is the key that opens up the door to the prison that you're currently in because you have no discipline. So make a decision to take action and become a disciplined person. A person of action values what we have. You value your opportunity. So my question to you is, do you value your opportunity? Do you value the dream business that we have in our hands? Do you value it? Well, I don't want you to tell me you value it. I want you to show me you value the opportunity. How do you show me, show yourself, show your family, your partner, your wife, your husband, your kids, your team that you value In-Cruises and you value this business opportunity? By taking action. That's the way you do it. You value it by realizing the opportunity that you have in our hand and in your hands. And I want to go rapid fire on you right now, but you do realize we have a dream business, don't you? I've gone through this before. It's going to be hard for you to write it down because I want to go fast, but there are lots of reasons why you have a dream business. Number one, the fact that you can start your own business for $295. Number two, the fact that we have a business that's fun, sexy, and attractive. Number three, we have a business that has very little legal regulation to it. Number four, a business that you can grow anywhere in the world. Number five, a business with very little overhead. Number six, a business where you're not constantly training your future competition like traditional businesses work. You're constantly training people that will always remain in your team. Number seven, a business that you can work from anywhere in the world. Number eight, we've got a dream business because there's low risk in our business. Number nine, a business that you can expand for very little expansion costs. Number 10, a business in a proven, strong industry. Number 11, a business in an industry that's growing. Man, this is a dream business. A person of action realizes this and values this dream business by taking action. Number 12, a business that has a unique and innovative product. Number 13, a business that helps people, that is good for people, that makes people happy. Number 14, a business where if you want to become successful, all you have to do is help others become successful. Number 15, a business that is turnkey, a business that comes with all the support structures in place for you to grow. Number 16, a business that comes with mentors and coaches that help you become successful. Number 17, a business that doesn't require physical space, it's virtual. Number 18, a business that requires you not to have employees. Number 19, a business that allows you to develop other independent business owners. Number 20, a business where little experience, if no experience is required. Number 21, a business that pays you residual income. Number 22, a business where you don't have to spend money on advertising or on a bunch of expensive stuff. Number 23, a business that comes with experts, with the attorneys behind the scenes and the website developers and all the people that we need to help you become successful. There's so many reasons why we have a dream business, but I want you to understand that a person of action realizes that they have something of value, and the way they show themselves and their team is by taking action, not just by saying that they value their business. Are you guys with me? A person of action sets goals, writes them down, focuses on his or her goals every day, and sets deadlines for their goals. Are you a person of action? Ladies and gentlemen, this is all it takes. It's not complicated. It's not complex. It's pretty simple. And it's not that hard either. People say, oh, this business is hard. No, this business isn't hard. This business is pretty easy. It's just uncomfortable. You have to come out of your comfort zone. A person of action works the numbers on a daily basis. A person of action takes their goal. Guys, this is what I've done. This is what I've done to become successful. And this is what others and incruises that are more successful than me have done for a more consistent amount of time, where it's taken them to executive and board of directors. But this is what I've done. I can only talk to you about what I've done. A person of action works the numbers on a daily basis. A person of action gets wide, focuses on getting wide on a daily basis, and performs the daily actions to get wide. A person of action leads by example. A person of action does what he or she says that they are going to do. But again, this point that I just gave you is a person of action works the numbers daily. Are you working the numbers daily? Are you making the required contacts that lead to the required conversations, that lead to the required amount of presentations, where if you do enough of those, 4 or 5, leads to the required amount of directs that you can grow on a weekly or monthly basis, depending on your goals? That is what a person of action does. You see, ignorance on fire is greater than knowledge on ice. See, give me an ignorant person. Give me someone that doesn't know too much about the business. Give me someone that doesn't even know half of the things and how they work on the website. You should. Give me someone that doesn't even know how to reserve a cruise on our website. Give me someone that is ignorant but is on fire and on action. I'll take that over a smart person on ice that doesn't do anything every day. A person of action doesn't get down easily. And if they get down, it's for seconds and minutes at a time, not for days and weeks. I talk to people, man, they get so excited, right? They're like little children. It's like, yeah, I'm so excited about my business today. And then the next day you can't find them. You got to put like a police report on them and see if the police, if the FBI, if the CIA can locate them. They're down. They don't answer their phone calls. They don't answer their messages. Why? Because a person of action does not get down easily. We all get down. But a person of action gets down for minutes or seconds and then gets right back up, versus a person that is not an action person gets down for hours and days and weeks, sometimes months at a time. Are you a person of action? And then finally, a person of action, guess what? Shows that action on a daily basis with their attitude. A person of action is positive all the time. Abel, all the time? That's impossible. No, all the time. You're never going to, man, I'm telling you, man, I will do everything in my power to make sure you never see me in a negative state of mind. I might get a little tough on you sometimes. I might be a little up in your face because I believe you got to hold people by the hand and kick them in the ass sometimes. But a person of action is a positive person. And if you ever get negative with your upline, never with your downline. A person of action is positive, never focuses on negative, doesn't watch too much news, and doesn't talk about people or negative things. A person of action is a positive person. That is what a person of action is, and shows that positivity through his and her daily actions of working the numbers. That is what a person of action does. A person of action is great at follow-up. Not only is he or she a great prospector, contactor, communicator, connector, but you got to be great at follow-up, and you got to be organized with your follow-up. Follow-up, the fortune, I learned this years ago, the fortune is in the follow-up. And a person of action, finally, is someone that works with purpose on purpose. Do you work with purpose? Do you know your purpose? Do you know your purpose as an in-cruise partner? Do you know your job description? Do you know your purpose as a leader for your team? A person of action works on purpose with a purpose. What is your purpose? What is your mission, your vision, your goal for that day, that week, that month, that year, for your life? And that person of action is great at working on purpose, does things on purpose, and works with purpose. So I want to encourage you to become a person of action. We are in a very special time at In-Cruises right now. Very, very special time. Right now, the company's breaking records. It's time that you break records. It's time that you break your personal best records. It's time for you to win the Global Leadership Summit. It's the first month. It's time for you to be with me on this webinar on Sunday with Mark Aceta. What a great leader. 1 p.m. Miami time, 7 p.m. Norway, Spain time. It's time for you to take advantage of the incentive that the company's putting in your plate, in your table right there in front of you, where you can win $200 or $400 towards an in-stay reservation. It's time for you to take advantage of the moment and the time that we're at. So I want to encourage you to become a person of action. The link is in the chat. Ladies and gentlemen, I look forward to building a great business with you, and I look forward to seeing you and yours on the cruise ships and the beaches of the world. Let's go.